Hey YouTube, this is Primetime Pokemon. In this video, I'll be reviewing and then giving away the Torrential Cannon theme deck. This is one of two theme decks from the Team Up expansion. This theme deck is a water type deck based around Blastoise. I have reviewed the other theme deck from Team Up. It is a fire type deck based around Charizard. So majority of this video, I'll be reviewing the cards in the deck. At the end of the video, I'll state the rules to entry for the giveaway. You can also find those rules in the description of this video. So theme decks like this one are $12.99 in stores. Inside the box, you get the 60 card deck, a card checklist, metallic coin, 2-player playmat and rule sheet, a code card for the online TCG, a deck box, a quick guide to unlock strategies within, and some damage counters. On the back of the box, it says, "Let it rain, let it pour. Give your opponent a high-pressure soaking with help from Blastoise. Use Golduck's Amnesia to keep the other side off balance as you power up a devastating Hydro Tackle attack. Wash away the competition with the Torrential Cannon theme deck." Now, the general strategy with this deck is to use Blastoise as the primary attacker and to get energy into play. Blastoise can do 150 damage per turn, and then it can accelerate as many water energy into play as possible when you turn over the top 6 cards of your deck. Now, if you wanted to modify this deck a little bit, you could include Quagsire. That card has an ability on it that allows you to move as many energy from your bench Pokemon to your active Pokemon as you'd like. So you could get energy into play with Powerful Squall on Blastoise and then move those energy cards onto whatever Pokemon you would like when it's in the active Pokemon spot. Pidgeotto in this deck is also very good. It has an ability where you can draw 2 cards, choose one of those, and put it into your hand. On the screen now, you can see the deck checklist. If you watched the Relentless Flame theme deck review and video that I did, the identical trainer cards in this deck as that deck. I do like the fact that there's 2 copies of each. I do like the fact that there's 2 copies of Cynthia. Cynthia by itself is almost worth the $12.99 price tag for this theme deck. Inside the theme deck box, here's a look at the Blastoise Special Holo. In Team Up, it is a rare non-holo. The online TCG code card. The deck box that can hold 60 cards. The damage counters, Burn and Poison marker and GX marker. The Pokemon coin, Blastoise. The 2-player playmat and rule sheet. And then the checklist for Team Up as well as the quick guide for the deck. So I can get into reviewing each and every card now. I'll start with the Pokemon first. The first line for Pokemon would be the main line, a 3-2-2 line of Blastoise, Wartortle, and Squirtle. Squirtle does have an above average HP of 70, 2 moves, Tackle and Rain Splash. One does 10 damage, the other does 20. So a very basic attacker if you start the game with Squirtle in the active Pokemon spot. Wartortle, an average HP of 90, 2 moves, Tackle and Waterfall. One does 30 damage, the other one does 70. And then Blastoise, 160 for the HP, an ability, and then 1 move. Powerful Squall says, once during your turn, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any number of water energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. So this is a great way to get energy into play. You could also add something like Aqua Patch that allows you to retrieve water energy from the discard pile and attach them to your benched Pokemon. And then it's 1 attack, Hydro Tackle, requires 3 energy and does 150 damage. However, Blastoise does do 30 damage to itself. So if you can get Blastoise set up pretty quickly, it is a great card to use overall. And really almost any deck out there, just being able to get energy into play, more than 1 per turn, is a great strategy in a deck. Especially if you're able to use something that does damage based on the number of total energy attached to all of your Pokemon, like a Shaman Prism Star from Team Up. The next line would be a 3-2 line of Psyduck and Golduck. Psyduck here, HP of 60, just the one move called Headache. For 1 colorless energy, it does 10 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent can't play any trainer cards from their hand during their turn. So that is a great secondary item on the attack besides the damage. If only it was based on something other than a coin flip, I guess you could always use Victini. That card has an ability on it, allowing you to reflip, so potentially you would have 2 chances at getting a heads. And then Golduck, 110 for the HP, that is a very good HP, a low retreat cost, and 2 moves. Amnesia for 1 water energy does 20 damage, plus choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. That Pokemon can't use that attack during your opponent's next turn. And then Swim for 3 colorless energy does 90 damage, and it says if any of your opponent's Pokemon have any water energy attached to them, you may do 90 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon instead of their active Pokemon. So this is a great move overall. You can potentially knock off weaker basic Pokemon on your opponent's bench, preventing them from evolving that Pokemon into something a lot more powerful. Those would be the only 2 water type lines in the deck. Next up would be a colorless line, a 3-2-2 line of Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. A low HP on Pidgey of only 50. 2 moves, Collect and Gust. Collect allows you to draw a card, which is good early in the game. And then Gust for 2 colorless energy does 20 damage. Pidgeotto is a pretty good card overall, other than having a very low HP. But this is the type of card you want to just keep on the bench. Its ability Airmail says, once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put one of them into your hand. Put the other card on the bottom of your deck. So that is a great way to potentially get whatever card you want into your hand each and every turn. And then Gust for 2 colorless energy does 30 damage. So I could see in this theme deck having 1 Pidgeotto on the bench and then 1 Pidgeot. So here's a look at Pidgeot, 130 for the HP. It does have a free retreat cost, which is very nice. 2 attacks. Whirlwind for 2 colorless energy does 60 damage. Your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. And then Spin Storm for 3 colorless energy. It says your opponent puts their active Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their hand. So Pidgeot is more of a defensive type of attacker, either moving your opponent's active Pokemon or just moving all of the cards in your opponent's active Pokemon spot back into their hand. If you're facing something like a stage 2, like a Charizard for example, it would take another turn or 2 to be able to get their Charizard back into play. And then the final Pokemon, Farfetch'd, 3 copies of this card, and all of these Pokemon are from the Team Up set. 80 HP on this card, 2 moves, Collect, allows you to draw 2 cards for 1 colorless energy, and Tool Buster for 1 colorless energy does 20 damage, plus if your opponent's active Pokemon has a tool card, you may remove it and then do 90 total damage. So it is a powerful attacker for only 1 energy card. So overall, these Pokemon are very similar to what's in the other Team Up theme deck. Personally, I like the Charizard theme deck a little bit better when it comes to the Pokemon, just because Charizard can do major damage very quickly. But in this deck, I do like the combination of the ability on Blastoise and the ability on Pidgeotto. And if you're looking for a theme deck, you can't go wrong with either of these from Team Up. Next up, I'll take a look at the trainer cards, 18 total, 12 supporters, and 6 items. 2 copies of each of these supporters. Brock's Grit would be first. This is from Team Up. Shuffle 6 and any combination Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. This supporter makes more sense in the Charizard theme deck, just because Charizard's discarding energy when attacking. You could always replace this with Energy Recycler and Rescue Stretcher. Copycat would be next. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a card for each card in your opponent's hand. So if you essentially dead draw turn 1 and your opponent turn 1 uses Lily, you can then use Copycat, potentially turn 2, and get 8 brand new cards into your hand. Cynthia would be next, one of the best supporter cards out there. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. How allows you to draw 3 cards. So if you do have some good cards already in your hand, this would be the supporter to use. You do not have to shuffle your hand back into your deck or anything like that. Pokemon Fan Club is a great way to get some Pokemon onto your bench. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. And this one, I do like the fact that if there is an ability on a basic Pokemon when you have it in your hand and put it on your bench, Pokemon Fan Club allows you to utilize that ability. And then the final supporter would be Professor Kukui. Draw 2 cards. During this turn, your Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So if you are attacking with some of the weaker moves on these Pokemon, Professor Kukui may do that additional damage that will knock out your opponent's Pokemon. So like I said, these are the identical trainer cards to the Relentless Flame theme deck. The trainer cards fit a little bit better in that theme deck than this one in my opinion. And then next up here would be the item cards, 6 total, 3 different items, 2 copies of each of them. Nest Ball, search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. Switch allows you to switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. There are some higher retreat costs on some of these Pokemon, like Blastoise. Of course, Pidgeot has a free retreat cost. And then Timer Ball allows you to search your deck for an evolution Pokemon. For each heads you get, when you flip 2 coins, you can go and get an evolution Pokemon. So with Golduck, Wartortle, Blastoise, Pidgeot, Pidgeotto, lots of evolution Pokemon in this theme deck. So some good item cards there, cards that are used in the competitive scene quite often. And then there are 20 total water energy in this deck. In more competitive decks out there, you're looking at using anywhere between about 6 to 15 energy. So there's way too many in this theme deck, but that's just the way theme decks are usually built. They're usually looking at 20-20-20 when it comes to Pokemon trainers and energy. So there is a look at the Torrential Cannon theme deck. It is good overall. I really like the ability on Blastoise, like I mentioned. Plus, Blastoise can do major damage when attacking. And if you are more of a competitive player, it is worth it to buy either of the Team Up theme decks just for the supporters. Now on to the giveaway portion of this video. All you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, and then in the comment section of this video, let me know that you'd like to enter the giveaway, and then state which theme deck from Team Up you like better, either Relentless Flame or Torrential Cannon. At the end of March 31st, I will be emailing the winner of this giveaway. I'll be using a random number generator on the comment section of this video to select a winner. So just make sure the contact information on the About section of your channel is updated. So that concludes this video. Thanks everyone for watching. As always, before you go, make sure to check out all the links in the description of this video, including links to my blog, Facebook, and Twitter pages. So good luck to everyone who does enter, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.